So when I got to Al-Anon, I did not have a God. I did not have a power greater than myself. And so the group tried to help me. 2 or 3 little old ladies in that group that I hated the first night I went, tried to help me out. And they said, Arleen, do you think there's anything on this earth that might be stronger than you are? And I couldn't think of anything. So one of them said, what about the chair you're sitting in? And I thought, I ain't praying to no chair. Now, that's ridiculous. So another lady says, what about the group, Arleen? She said, do you suppose that if you used all 10 of us, that maybe all of us together could be stronger than you are? And I thought a minute, and I had to agree that maybe there was a chance that all of you together might be stronger than I was. So I used the group as my higher power. Now, from this point, I jumped all the way down to step 11. Now, I believe that these steps are written in order and that they should be worked in order. I believe that. But I was too sick to do that. So I jumped all the way down to step 11 because it told me what to pray for. It says in step 11, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. And that is all I prayed. That was it from beginning to end. Let me know what you want to do, what you want me to do, and give me power to carry it out. And I did it real fast. I wanted to get it over with. I didn't like that part. And I did this long enough that my God, in His humor, and He is a funny God, brought me to a point where I was worse off mentally than I had been when I came to Al-Anon. That fist that I carried around got bigger and bigger and bigger. And you know, I wasn't getting what you had. The reason I came back to Al-Anon the second time to give it a try was because of something I saw in your eyes. I didn't know then what it was. I thought you was crazy. And I didn't care what I had to do to get just as crazy as you was. I wanted what you had. And I wasn't getting that. I wasn't getting that look you had in your eyes. I wasn't getting release from what I was doing. And one night after I left a meeting on Thursday night, I went home, and I worked at this time. I went home, and I was in very much pain. And so I did what I did back then. I slammed drawers, and I slammed doors, and I threw things, and I just stomped around, and I was angry. I was full of anger because this thing wasn't working. And finally, I did the thing that I think everybody has to do. I remember sitting down on the side of my bed and just looking up at the ceiling, and I was not thinking of a God, and I was not thinking of the group. And I remember I was crying, and I just said the words, show me how. Show me how. This was 2 o'clock in the morning. And immediately the idea came to me to go get the dictionary and look up the word accept that we say in the Serenity Prayer. Now, I had this big old encyclopedia that you used to get at Kroger's. Remember it every time you went and you bought, I believe it was 25, you did that. You bought $25 worth of groceries or something like that, you'd get a part of this book. And then after you got all the parts, you put it together, and the thing weighs more than I do. And I went and got that thing out at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I looked up the word accept. Now, I thought the word accept meant take it, and I'd took all I'd wanted to. I wasn't going to took no more. But that's not what the word means. The word means believe is a fact. That's all it means, believe is a fact. Believe that you cannot change that alcoholic. Believe that you can change yourself. Now you're probably wondering, what's that got to do with step 2? What happened that night was I realized that I had gotten an answer to my prayer. Because I didn't even know that I was hanging up on the word accept in the serenity prayer. That didn't come from me. I was not well enough or smart enough to know that I was having a problem with the word accept in the serenity prayer. I thought it was the word God that I was having the hang up with. So I realized that morning that I got an answer. And it wasn't from me, and it wasn't from that group, because that burn group was asleep at 2 o'clock in the morning. I knew that. They weren't all up sitting and listening to my prayers. So something very important happened that morning. I realized I had God for me. You see, when I came into this program, I was worse than those people that didn't believe in God. I knew God was there. I just didn't think He was there for me. For some reason, He was not there for me. But this morning, I found out He was. He answered my prayer. So what happened then? I was able to go on with my steps in the order in which they are written, because I now had a higher power